So I've managed to log into a Pinterest account that I'd lost access to and pretty much forgotten about, and I've managed to log into it recently and check some of the stats and some of the data, and I was shocked to see how much traffic that actual account still brings, even though I've not used it for over a year. So in today's video, I'm going to talk about why I'm using social media to get some traffic to my website, what some of the pitfalls are, and there definitely is some pitfalls with social media traffic, and why it may be important to actually start using them in the next few years. So let's get into this. Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. So this is a video in the new website case study series that I've brought out where I'm building a website in the travel niche. I'm going to share all the details with you. But before we get into today's video, I'd just like to thank the sponsor of this video, ODYS.global, a company that if you've watched my channel, you'll know that I've used before. I've built a public case study using an age domain from them and it grew super fast. I'm also using age domains as a way of acquiring backlinks without too much work. I'm able to purchase an age domain that has authoritative backlinks attached to it and then redirect them over to an existing website, which boosts the overall authority of the website and some individual page authority, which really helps my content outrank the competitors. And through the month of February, they are offering a 40% discount off over 250 selected age domains. So if you want to go check them out, it costs you nothing to sign up and have a look at their inventory. And if you use the affiliate link in the description, you will get $100 credited to your account. So thanks again to ODYS for sponsoring today's video. So it's fair to say the SEO waters are a little bit choppy and a little bit murky at the moment with all the AI tools that's out there and the new search engines that Bing and Google have brought out. We're no longer guaranteed how our blog posts are going to be served and shown in the SERP index, and we're not sure how that is going to affect our traffic. So one thing for sure is I'm not going to sit around and just keep my fingers crossed and hope that it all pans out and Google will put my content to the top of page one, because I don't believe it will. I do believe it'll show it in a different format. And we're already seeing how search results are shown in Google already within the first few days of them releasing their new search engine tool and revamping the SERP index. We're already seeing some dramatic changes, and I might get a video out on that in the next few months when that pans out. We'll see how it looks to us and to the viewer and to the searcher of content, because like I say, I've seen some dramatic changes already. So I'm looking at ways that I can diversify my traffic, and I know what a lot of bloggers are going to say straight away, yeah, diversify traffic, social media, it doesn't change the needle whatsoever on my website, but you'd be surprised how much it can. Recently, I've been receiving a lot of emails from fellow bloggers and YouTubers who are all diving into social media traffic, and some actually get a big percentage of their traffic from social media. Now, many people will be put off hearing the word use social media to grow traffic to your website because they've tried it in the past and it's failed, or they've invested money and time into it and not seen the results that they wanted. Now, the truth of it is you will have success and you will have failures in social media. I have actually used some platforms before, spent a lot of time and money on them, like Tumblr, building a big account, a big following, only for that platform to literally disappear within a couple of years. Tumblr back in 2016 was one of the #1 search social media platforms, and now it's hardly used by anybody. It was valued at around 1.3 billion in 2016 and now is worth pretty much nothing. Well, a couple of $1 million, but that is a tiny proportion of what it once was. Where other platforms I saw a lot of success with, like Pinterest. I saw a huge spike in traffic using Pinterest, only for Pinterest to then go and change their algorithm and try and keep the visitors on their site longer and keep them on Pinterest rather than send them to your blog post. And they also introduced ads, which had a bad user experience on the platform. And again, we saw a downturn in traffic. I got disheartened and I stopped using it. So there are some pros and cons with building a social media following and using it as a traffic source to your website. Another thing you need to consider is the type of traffic that will come from social media. Often it's not a very targeted audience and you get traffic that will come to your website, stay on there for a matter of seconds and bounce. And that can cause a little bit of negative on-page SEO on your site, and it also can be reflected in your RPMs and the ad revenues that you get, because they will see that it's not a really valuable visitor that's been to your website, and it can reduce your RPMs. So there are some negatives to it as well. But as I said, there are also some positives. Now, this website that I'm currently building has not got a Pinterest account on it. But I looked into another website that I've had for 4 years, and I looked at the Pinterest account, as I said, that I've not logged into for over 12 months. And I was surprised to see that on average, it gets between 2,000 and 5,000 visitors a month from Pinterest. And actually the traffic that's coming across is pretty good. The bounce rate isn't terrible on it. Now, this is a Pinterest account that I set up around 3 years ago. I invested a lot of time and money creating all these lovely looking pins, and they're still being pinned and shared and actually getting traffic from Pinterest over to my website. So even 3 years later, that investment is still paying off. Now, to give you an idea, I worked it out. It's giving me around $1,100 per year at the moment from the traffic that's coming from Pinterest. And that's with not even logging in for over a year. So it got me thinking, what about if I did spend a little bit of time on it? Now, not a lot of time, because I do believe social media growth is a bit of a time suck. It can distract you from writing content, which I would always say should be your primary goal. But it can actually be valuable to grow these social media platforms if you just spend a limited time and a limited resource, test the waters, see what happens. And then you can use that data to see if it's going to be worth actually focusing a little bit more on that platform. You can look at the bounce rate, you can look at the user engagement, you can look at time on page, you can look at conversions. You can take all that information and find out if that is a valuable traffic source for your website. Now, which social media platform should you use? Like I said, there are many: Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Pinterest, Facebook. It depends on your niche, and some of them are not going to be suitable for you. So many niches don't sit well on Pinterest. Not many niches fit well on Twitter. But there will be one that works for you. And as I say, you need to look at your niche, test the waters, and see which one brings the most valuable traffic over to your website. Not necessarily the most amount of traffic, but the most valuable amount of traffic. So I'm going to start building some accounts on social media for this new website case study. And I'm probably going to be focusing, number one, on TikTok, which I've already started. But I'm also going to build a new Pinterest account because it really does suit the travel niche. And I think the audience that we get from Pinterest will be a valuable source of traffic. Now, don't get me wrong, as a percentage, I would say at the moment, my website gets probably 1% of its traffic from social media. But I'd like to see that in the 10 or 12, maybe even 15% of my traffic coming from social media. And then, as I say, if Google displays my content poorly in the SERP index, I can go to those social media platforms and I can really start to build them out and look at growing that as a valuable source of traffic. Now, one word of warning: I would not invest, number one, money into these social media platforms. I would not go spending on paid advertising. I would not spend too long each day or each week on them as well. And I wouldn't open multiple accounts. I would pick one platform that suits you best. That might be Facebook, it might be Pinterest, and I would focus on that for a number of months and see if you see a nice steady growth of traffic on there. Definitely wouldn't recommend that you invest tons of time and tons of money without testing the waters first. So again, as all my videos are, it is what I'm doing in my business, and I am looking at social media to diversify that traffic away from Google and Bing until I figure out what they're doing and how my blog posts are going to be displayed and found by users on their search engines. When I know that more, I might relax a little bit and I might ease off of social media, but I do see it as a valuable source of traffic. But for the next few months, I'm definitely going to start building some new social media accounts for this website case study. And as always, I will bring you along for the journey and I'll show you some of the facts and the data the spend, the return, etc. from focusing on the social media platforms. But for now, I hope you found that entertaining or useful. If you did, please subscribe to the channel if you're new. And if you're already a subscriber, give that thumbs up, a press for me. It really does help me out. But for now, I'll see you in the next video.